Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Looplearnings, and this is video number 2 of this series, how to make school management system. And in this video we are going to create the database schema. So if you are new to your channel, welcome. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. And if you're returning, welcome back. Then if you haven't subscribed yet, why you did not? And subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get notification. All right, now the purpose of this video, as I explained, is all about making the database schema, and that's what we are going to do. So you can see that a blank access document or file is open in front of me, nothing in there. So we will start creating the database. For any application, database is the first thing that generally gets created, because from that the user interface and rest of the things get created. So to make database, I already have created something in the Excel format. It always helps me to kind of design the backend, and I have created some tables. You can see here, you can see in the green the name of the table that we are going to create, and these are the fields, and this is the data type for each field that we are going to create. So there is a whole lot of tables that I've created. There are some that I need to create, which I will do after this video. And of course this video is going to be splitted in 2 videos, because in one video we can't really demonstrate every single thing. It will become a long video, and you might not watch it as well. You might get bored, so I don't want that to happen. So anyway, we will split this video into 2, which means we will make database schema in this video and in the next video. Okay, I hope that is fine with you. Right, so first table we are going to create. Now I have done a lot of thinking behind what tables to be created and what field we should have in each table. But of course, you know, I might have missed something, I might have skipped something, I might have done something wrong. If you notice something, please do let me know in the comments below after watching this video. Okay, so I'll make the corrections, because if the database is not correct, then we are going to struggle later on. And so it's very important that we pay full attention to the database. Okay, now let's go ahead and first of all create first table. And students always at the heart of any school, any college, any institute. So we will begin with the students. Okay, so we will go to the access, and in here we will go to the ribbon. So in case if you are new to Microsoft Access, I do have a series called how to create application in Microsoft Access. Please watch that. I have explained the basics, and you'll be able to understand. Okay, now let's go to ribbon and go to create tab, and there are a few options here when it comes to tables. At the moment we are creating tables, right? Forms, queries, reports will be created on top of the database, the tables that we are going to create. There are some options. If I click this table, this will be a blank table, right? You can see on the pop-up it's given a description. Table design, again it is going to be a blank table without any key, so we have to type the key ourselves. So the same table but in a different manner it appears. There are some tables like SharePoint lists, right? These are predefined tables actually. So basically this is predefined Microsoft lists. If you're not aware of it, you should search for it and you have a look. It's again, sometimes we can use Microsoft lists as a backend, and it's a cloud. Maybe this is for some other time, we will make this video. Okay, but we are going to create table, and we create table here. By the way, there were some suggestions that I should create a database or the backend in Microsoft SQL. I will do that for pharmacy management system, which is coming next. Okay, so stay tuned, it is coming next for sure. Now we have created table, but it is not saved yet. So what we'll do, we'll go to the design view. At the moment what you're looking at is a datasheet view. So I'll right click here, we'll go to the design view, and it will ask us to save the table first. So because this is students table, so we will say TUBL or students T, right? Everyone has different style of naming convention. I either write TBL students or students T. T stands for table, so that's a kind of identification. Anyway, we will do that. I will click OK, and now we are in the design view of the table. Now, first key is always auto. First key is always a primary key. It not necessary that it is auto number, but generally when you create a table, it will be by default a auto number. Now every field will have data types, so let's talk a little bit about, because maybe some people may not be aware of what data type should be selected at what stage. So let me, please bear with me if you know, but this is for those who are kind of new to Access. Okay, short text, it has 255 characters if I'm not mistaken. Long text, no limit, generally I believe. Number, generally is used for, by name we can understand for any numeric value. Large number is used for also numeric values. Date and time extended, this is new in Microsoft Access latest version. We will have a look at it, what the difference. Currency, wherever there is money involved, we will choose currency, right? Auto number, of course, auto number is the data type which will allow Microsoft Access to automatically give a unique number to a record. Okay, so that's what auto number. Yes or no, you see that, sometime the buttons where you select yes or no, radio button you can call them, or the other type of buttons will appear. OLE object, I'm not too sure about it. What does OLE mean? I never used it, so that's why I don't know. Please do let me know in the comments below if you are aware of it. Hyperlink field we can create, where we have to provide some sort of links to our users so they can access its attachments, any picture or anything. Calculated field is also very important that we are going to use in this database. And then lookup wizard, which mean for any value that you look up. All right, we'll be using most of these, not all of these data types, but most of these we will be using. Okay, now let's begin with our database table creation. So first table we are creating is student ID. Now watch that, this is why I create in Excel. So I just copy and I paste in here. So rather than just ID, I would like to have this ID is for what. So when we are doing the VBA code, then it is very easy for us to refer to this particular field if we have to. So that's why rather than just ID, we can say student ID. Okay, student name, if you will just give a name, it will Microsoft Access may not allow us. You can see here the name you supply is reserved word. So there are some reserved word like date, name. These names we cannot we cannot give to the field name. So I choose student name. Then we go to roll number. Roll number is going to be short text. I will tell you why it is short text, but be with me. So you see, I'm not selecting the data type, but by default Microsoft Access is choosing short text because that is a default data type which gets selected automatically. Date of birth, and this will be date and time data type. So we will choose date and time, but if you will just leave it like that, the time will also appear. We don't want time, we only want the date of birth. So in that case, we'll come right in this field properties area, and in the format we will choose from this drop down, we'll choose different styling of the date sheet that you can see. So we are looking at only the date, so this will be the short date data type I would like to choose. Okay, now let's move on. Country of birth. Now country of birth, you can either give a short text, or if you have big database and your school or institute is in different cities or different countries, then you can have a separate table called countries, and all the country names should be there in that table. In my case, we are keeping it to the basics, so we'll keep it as a short text so user can just type in the name of the country. Now one important thing I would like to say is that you look at this field size, 255 characters. So I don't think there is a country exists that whose name is 255 characters. I mean, I may be wrong, but what I'm trying to say is you can reduce the field size to less number. For example, I will say just stick to 170 characters. And the reason I'm saying this is because whatever number of characters you will choose here, it will actually reserve the space in the back end of the access. So that is also very important for consideration. So your application should not be that much heavy. Okay. All right. Place of birth, country of birth, place of birth. So this is like a city or state or province. So that's what first country, and then you give place of birth information. Again, I'm going to reduce to 170 characters. Now this necessarily does not mean that you should have or you must have. Again, whatever I'm showing you, I'm demonstrating you, this is just a sample. You can change the fields, you can change the database however you wish to do so. Gender, so we will give gender here, and it is a lookup wizard. Basically this is like user will have a drop down to choose the gender from. So I will go and I will choose lookup wizard. Here I will have different options. If you have another table that stores the genders information, then you can connect this field to that table. I will type the value myself, so I'll click on next. Here I will give the gender male and female. Okay, and I click on next. We'll limit to yes. If you want to allow multiple values, then you click here and it will select multiple values, but I will not, so click on finish. Done. Again, field size is 255 characters. Male and female, both characters are less than even 20, so I'll keep it as 25 characters limit. Okay. Then father name is also short text. Then city of reside, where the student is residing, town, okay, address. All right, so you see I'm speeding up because we already have done the work of the database. So status, all right, status should be 25, not more than that. User ID and password, well, if you are creating something like you want to give access to students, so you can give user ID and password for them as well, but for now I don't think we need it, but if you want to have it, you can have this user ID and password as well. Okay, but I'm going to choose a remarks field. In remarks, let's keep it long text. Okay, long text does not have any the specific character limit, so that's why long text is. So updated on date and time, and we can give short date. Okay, all right, that's it. That's the first table. Oops, this data type is not compatible with earlier version of Microsoft Access. Nice. Which one, my friend? Okay, I think it's Access is changing a little bit, so that's why it is giving, because now it is giving the data type extended, I believe. Okay. Oh, large number, sorry. Yeah, this is the reason. Okay, long text I supposed to select, so large number may not be applicable. Okay, cool. Right, so we have the first table created, and we will close this table. We'll move on to the next one, and next one is academic year, academic month. This is very important because we will have, a school has academic year and academic month, so we will kind of store this information as well. So academic year, we'll go to create table, right click and design view. We'll give a name academic year T, and ID will be, is it auto number? You want to change it, you can change it. I'm going to do that, so I'm going to change it to the number, and this I'm going to change it to AY, academic year. Okay, so that's it. That's what table needs. So for example, 2023, 2024, 2025, so 2026. Yeah, so maybe later we'll come and create these as well. Okay, next we will create academic month. So we'll go to create table, right click, database, academic month T. Okay, and here we will say AM. Okay, AM is academic month, and again we'll change it to number, not auto number, and we will have let's say we will type month, so it is also giving the error. That's why I have given month name. Okay, all right, so month name, we should reduce it to perhaps 25 or 30 characters. That would be enough, and that's it. This is also created. Now let's close that. We will do the data entry later on. Now let's go to the admissions table. So we'll create another table, create table, right click, design view, admissions T, and here ID would be auto number. We want to keep it, but we would like to change admission ID, admission date, very important, so date and time. So again, don't forget to choose the format short date, very important, and we will link that to the student ID. Of course, that's our link. Default value 0, make sure that you reduce it, eliminate it. Academic year, we have created table, so we will link this table to the academic year. Again, any field that you are linking, make sure the data types are exactly same. So if I see academic year, the data type is number. If I open academic year table, you can see data type is number as well. Let's look at the student ID. So student ID is data type number, and if I go to students table, the data type is number as well. Yes, it says auto number, but essentially this is a number data type. So this is how it works. This is a concept of relational database. So this is the benefit, that you can store different type of information in different tables, and then you can link that information in one table like we are doing right now. So student ID here is the secondary key, and student ID in students table is the primary key. So this concept is very important. In students table, where the students information resides, their student ID is the primary key. You can see here in the pop-up, right? This field is a part of table's primary key. But if we use student ID in any other table, because we have to link those tables, then this will become a secondary key. Okay, please remember that. Likewise, for academic year, here academic year is a secondary key, but in academic year table, it is primary key. So that's what primary key and secondary key, and later on we create the relationship between both tables. That's why the primary key is used. I hope that you have understood the concept. If not, then rewind a little bit and watch it again, what I have explained. Okay, but this is very important to understand. All right, so class ID, it's very important that we when we are making admission, of course we have to choose the class. We have to say, okay, this student is going to be in this class, right? Class 5, class 6, class 8, class 10, or postgraduate or graduate, whatever your database in the classes table we are going to create on later on. Okay, so class ID, section. Now each classes have some sort of section. Sorry, by the way, I have to give the number field here because this is a secondary key. Likewise with the section number field, because we have table called sections. Okay, status. Okay, and let's give 30, and then updated on date time, and make sure that you choose short date. Updated by updated, I don't think we need it, but if you want you can have it, but I will just have it as updated on, not updated by. If you want you can have it updated. Basically it's a matter of keeping the record who has updated the information, etc. Okay, so our this table is also completed. So we have created 4 tables. Let's move on to the next one, employees table. This is basically the staff of the school, so that includes everyone, staff and supporting staff, the teachers, etc., everything. So we'll say employee ID, auto number, employee name, short text, we'll keep it as 255 characters. Employee number, if you want to give, then you can give employee number, so let's keep it in short text, and characters 30 perhaps. Employee type. Now here every employee has an employee type. Here you can see employee type is a separate table, therefore this is going to be number field, so we can connect these two tables later on. Designation, okay, so we'll keep it short text. Date of birth, date and time table, date and time, of course the field data type. Gender, again we have to choose the lookup wizard. All right, I will type my value, so I'll say male and female. Okay, limit to the list, finish it. Okay, next, father name, for the staff, it's good to have city, town, address. See how things are easy if you are done your work in Microsoft Excel, so things becomes much easier, like you are watching me just copy pasting, because I've done work already. All right, that's okay. Short date. Right, this table is also done. Let's close it. Let's move on to the next one. Employee type ID. We'll go to table, right click, design view, employee type T, and we'll say employee type ID auto number, and we'll choose employee type as a short text. Done. Right, am I going too fast? I don't think so. If you feel like I'm going too fast, then let me know. I'll make my speed low in next video, but I think this is okay speed if you understand Microsoft Access. All right, now let's move on. Let's create some more tables. So let's finish these tables, and then the remaining tables we make it in the next video. All right, how about that? Is it okay? Now we'll create tables for the classes. So we'll create table, right click, design view, classes T. At the end we'll have T. Class ID auto number, let's leave it to that. Class name, so let's leave it short text. Division, now what do I mean by division? I have remarks here. I'll show you what I have written. So for example, science, arts, computer science, general science, different division or category you can make. I don't know what exactly should we call it, but I just kept it as division. So lookup wizard, we can change the values later on if we want. So science, arts. In our country, these are the two categories, but now in modern era there is computer science. Okay, so this is basically the category where the students are taking the admissions. All right, we will finish this list later on. Status, okay, short text, maybe reduce the field size to 30. Status, date and time, and always choose short date. All right, that is done as well. Now let's create. So every class has different sections, so perhaps section A, section B, or section red, section green. There are different sections, right, for each class. So those we will create. So for example, we'll take that, we'll close it, we'll click on create table, design view, sections T, and we'll say section ID, and we will link this section to each class, right? So this is what I said, each class has multiple sections, so that's why a link must be created in these two. All right, class ID would be number, then section name, then status, and the status date. Okay, date time, and again we'll short date. All right, so I hope that you are with me. I hope that you are understanding what we are doing. If any confusion, please do ask me in the comments below. Right, the last table for this video is sessions. What do I mean by session? Well, this is kind of linked to the scheduling. So for example, a student or teacher, for both, we have to create some sort of schedule for every day. For example, a student comes at 8 to school or college. The first class would be, for example, mathematics. Second from 9 to 10 p.m. would be for, let's just say, physics or chemistry, whatever subjects. So this is like a session, because then this session will go on and we will do the class scheduling for each session. Okay, so this is getting a little bit complicated here, but don't worry, it's not that complicated if we understand the concept. And again, if I'm wrong here, if I'm not doing it correctly, do let me know in the comments below. That would be appreciated. Okay, session, so let's go to create table. Okay, session T. Okay, and then we'll say session ID. We'll have some VBA coding for these sessions, so automatically these sessions are created. You don't have to create manually. Okay, class ID, we are going to link a session to the class, and therefore we give a number field reference. Then we have subject, so for each session, of course, every class will have some sort of subject, so subject is also secondary field here. Section ID for each section, so for example, a session for mathematics for section A would be from 8 to 9, for section B from 9 to 10. You getting my point? So that's the session planning, or maybe there is other name exist in the education world. If that's the case, let me know. Duration, what would be the duration of a session? And so that's very, very important, and we'll choose a number field here, and we'll give default value as 0. Field size here is a long integer, but I'm going to do that, I'm going to change it to double. And the reason I'm going to change it to double is because we are going to use this as a like hours. So duration would be 1 hour or 0.5 hours, which means half an hour, or 0.9 hours. So later on we will work on that. So for now, just leave it like that. Status short text. Let's reduce the field size, and status date is date and time. Okay, so short date. All right, that is done as well. Alrighty, so we have created how many tables? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 tables. Good progress. What do you think? I think it's a good progress. It's a good start. And as I said, this is half of the database schema that we have created, and the remaining half kind of will be created in next video. I hope that you have learned something. I hope that you have liked whatever you have seen. If you have, please smash the like button. Tell me in the comments below if I have anything missed, if I was on spot on, if I have explained correctly, or if I have not explained correctly even. Please do let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.